And right on the heels of that very bizarre scene in Mexico where lawmakers were shown what were claimed to be ancient alien mummies, here in the United States, NASA has officially entered the UFO chat. Today, NASA was like, we don't know about all that stuff, but if you have something that strange, make it available to the scientific community. As for what is for sure happening here in the United States, NASA says that they're going to take UFOs, or UAPs as they call them, seriously, and they are recommending AI be used to comb through things like massive amounts of satellite data and look for weird things flying around, because, you know, you can't spell alien without A and an I. Am I right? Okay, maybe I'm wrong, but you know who is never wrong about this stuff? NBC News correspondent Aaron Gilchrist. Aaron, thanks so much for joining us. Okay, so first off here, how does NASA think we should be using AI to look for unexplained phenomena?
Well, Gadi, the NASA administrator today said that it's time to move these conversations around UFOs from sensational to scientific. And that's part of the reason that for the first time in that agency's history, it commissioned this study, which was its first real concrete action into looking at UFOs. And so part of what the panel recommended was that NASA use artificial intelligence and machine learning, which it is proficient at, which it has the ability to analyze and understand, to sort of interrogate all the massive amounts of data that can be gathered as it relates to what's up there in the sky that may not be explainable, saying that using AI could help to look at satellite data, could look at radar data, could be added to the photos and the stories and the videos that we know are out there of these things that are in the sky. And using all the tools at NASA's disposal would help it to better identify those things and start to answer some of the questions around, you know, are these just drones and planes and big plastic bags, or are they things that might be extraterrestrial? Gadi?
Aaron, I mean, this story seems to go in so many different directions. I mean, you've got the stuff that's flying around that sensors are picking up. It has been a very weird year, though, because here in the United States, we had one former military analyst, high-ranking military analyst, telling our Congress he was being told that the U.S. was in possession of alien craft and what he called non-human biologics. What did NASA say about the possibility of aliens? Were they asked about any of this?
They were asked about that, and they've said repeatedly, and they've said on other occasions, that there's no evidence that these UAPs, as they call them, are extraterrestrial in origin, right? But at the same time, the NASA administrator, Bill Nelson, today did want to sort of delve into that area of, you know, are there aliens? Is there life outside the Earth? And listen to what he had to say about that.
If you ask me, do I believe there's life in a universe that is so vast that it's hard for me to comprehend how big it is? My personal answer is yes.
So I think that response sort of jives with some of what the scientific community has said is just logical, right? The universe is so big and there's so much that we don't know that it would not be reasonable to say that unequivocally there's no other life anywhere in the universe. But as scientists, Gadi, they want to gather information. They want to look at the data that's out there and look at sort of how to pick apart that data to figure out if they can come to real conclusions. That's a big part, obviously, of what NASA does and has done since it was created.
Good old Fermi paradox. So, Aaron, what comes next here? Because it seems like so far all we're getting is more questions to ask than solid answers about any of this, and a lot more, I don't know about you, but like frustration, because it just seems like answers are close and yet so far away.
Yeah, I think that's where NASA now has said it's time for this space agency, these big brains that are working at NASA, to sort of step into the gap, right? A lot of what's been gathered about UFOs has really come from the defense community and come from the national security, national intelligence community, not so much from the scientific community that NASA is firmly a part of and a leader in around the world, really. And so with NASA now saying we've got a list of recommendations, we're going to take a look at these recommendations and figure out how to implement them. We also learned today that NASA has created a new director of UAP research position. There's a person already in that job, and he is now going to be the go-to guy at NASA for figuring out how to take this roadmap that this study panel has created and implement it in what NASA does and connect it to what other agencies around the government are doing as well. Gadi?
Progress. Sounds like progress, at least.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
So.
NBC's Aaron Gilchrist. Thanks so much, brother.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.